Hello people, this is feeding video 7 if I'm correct. I'm just going to start off with my new edition. If you haven't seen, I have got a new edition, and this is my C. fasciatum, suspect female. See if she's hungry. Very skittish. Back in. Oh crap. We have an escapee. For once it's not a locust. Get back in. I don't want to handle her because she was doing threat postures. Fuck it, I'm not going to handle her. She scares me because she's threat postures. Get back in. Very, very, very fast. I want to leave the locust alone. Because she is really skittish. They're not the, I've been told they're not the best eaters anyway, so. Well, yeah, that's my C. fasciatum. And I'm going to try and keep every clip to a minute, so it's been over that, so I'll leave it be. I'll leave the locust in, and I'll give you an update at the end of the video if she gets it, because I'm going to put all the ones that don't eat to one side, and put all the ones that do eat back. So yeah, back in a sec. This is my LP, is in suspect pre-molt, but I'm going to chuck one in anyway. Yeah, you can see it's at the back. I'm doing this in a random order because this was on a different shelf because it had mould growing in it last night. I've sorted it all out now, but yeah, we're getting a bit too moist. I don't understand why when that's the only source of water and it's pretty dry substrate. So yeah, I'll drop this in, see what happens. I'm just going to get in his hide. I don't think it's going to eat. Hasn't yet. Yeah, I'm going to close the lights, but yeah, that's my LP. Absolutely gorgeous, but suspect pre-molt, and it's not eating. Yeah. Go on. Sorry, it's over my rule of a minute, but I think it's going to go for it. It's actually stood on it. Nope. Because if you watch, I'll poke it and it'll walk off straight for its legs. It actually tried to strike. I think it slapped actually, I don't think it actually striked. Yay! That is the first time my LP's ate. Oh, I'm so happy. It just seems like it's a bit of a slow eater. Or it might have been fed something different so it was not used to it. Oh, coming out to say hello. No. It's going to go into its corner. Before it escapes, I'm going to close the thing. But yeah, so that's good news. My LP is finally 8. As you can see, it is not in pre-molt. I didn't notice that because it's always running about. So yeah, it's finally 8. It's the first time it's 8, and I've had it 4 weeks now, something like that. Okay, well, that's good. We'll leave it be. Well, I need to get back in first, but we shall leave it be. Moving on to the next one. This is my H. pizza suspect female, but the legs just fell off onto her. She's very pissed off, so I don't know if she'll eat. Because I've just sprayed her, but she needs to be sprayed, so come on, grab it. At least crush it, 'cause you're pissed off. Come on. Nope. No longer. She's not even that pissed off, to be fair. I actually think this might be the male, because from what I've been told, the males are a lot more broader shouldered, like the I forget what they're called underneath, can actually sex them wrong. They're not always correct. So the males have got broader shoulders, and this actually looks like it's got broader shoulders. So this could actually be my male, and that'd explain why it always walks about. But if I do have two males, they're harmless to each other. Just so people know. Yeah, I'm going to try and breed them against it. They've been sexed by someone who's very, very... What's the word? He knows inverts, so he won't have got it wrong. But yeah. So I've definitely got a male and female pair. It's just, I think I might have got them wrong. And this might be the male. But yeah, I'm just going to put that on top. And let it go back on the room. Well, it. Yeah, so my female might actually be a male. It'll crawl back under. So yeah, that's just it. I thought I'd mention that, so with the next one I'm going to sex it the way I've been told, and it should be the female. And that'd explain a lot. So I'm just, but I'm going to get a piece of slate, because I forgot to get one. I thought that piece of wood would be alright, it would, but I'm going to slate just to be safe. And I'm going to try and breed them again. I will explain that in another video though. So yes. So yeah, something to look forward to. Just pop that so it stays in. So it'll probably grab it later. By the way, scorpions, I'm not going to put them to one side because they're iffy eaters anyway. So yeah, moving on to the next HPC. Ah, I found this in my scorpion tank. Panic, panic, panic. No. This piece of wood must have been from someone who kept a lot of stuff. That's tropical woodlouse. No, it's tropical woodlouse or something else, something completely harmless. But yeah, this is the suspect female, but I actually think it might be a male as well now. I don't know. They're very awkward to sex, scorpions, but it does have hairy claws from the other one, which is usually a sign of being a male as well. Oh, you little chuff! Fucking Lucas bit me. Okay, hopefully it'll go for it. Go on, grab it. You're pissed off because you got your tail up. I'm gonna grab my small tweezers. Do you want it? Obviously don't want it. Well, I'm going to leave it in, as I've said with the other one. They're very temperamental eaters. Okay. But yeah, that was a little thing, taking the piss, because everyone seems to panic when there's something in their animal's enclosure. Half of the time it's something that's meant to be there, or should be there, should I say. So yeah, we shall move on to the next one. And somehow I've lost my box of large locust. Oh, there we go. I got confused. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Next up we have an immature male Bebomi, and if I'm honest, he's never turned down food since he last molted. So yeah. Ow, the barbs on the locust legs hit me. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. What a guess. Yeah, never turns down food. I forgot to mention with the HPC I didn't put the woodlouse in, I was just saying it'll have been on, there'll have been some eggs or something, or it'll have been in the piece of bark. So they're absolutely harmless, they're actually good. Like a lot of the things that people find in their animals' tanks are actually quite good for them. So yeah. We shall leave Mark to his meal. And we shall move on to the next one. Oh, crunch. Yeah, moving on to the next one. This is my adult female L. Kluger, and I'm only going to give her one large locust this time. So yeah, drop it in. Really? Picking up small tweezers. Idiot. Shit. Go for it, not me. Go on. He wants it. Sorry about that, that's my tummy. If it moves, it's dead. There she goes. Oh, crunch as well. I love my big girl. So, yeah, that's my... by the way, the little bits is because I give her a light spray. Because they like it. Well, I only give them a light spray, my Lassiadoras. It seems to work well. So that's my adult female L. Kluge, looking gorgeous as usual, but well, gorgeous but a bit scraggy. She'll look gorgeous after she has a molt, but that's not going to be for a very, very long time. So yeah, moving on to the next one. This is my adult female GBB. She hasn't been eating, but I'm going to leave this in just in case for like 10 minutes. If you look at her abdomen, it doesn't look like she's in pre-molt because her bald spot isn't blacky purple. I'm trying to work out what that is on a carapace. Looks like a grain of salt. Can't be anything too bad, because if it was mites, you would see them around her legs and things, and there's only one, so nothing to panic about. Okay, I'm going to drop this in so she goes for it, doubt it though. Yeah, I can looking at the joints and there's nothing there, so definitely not. Go on, eat. Eat, you aren't eating ages, please. Please eat. Showing the fret posture towards it. Yeah, still checking the joints, and there's no others I can see, so it's just going to be something random. Come on. She's definitely pissed off showing the fret posture. She used to be a really good feeder, and I don't understand why she's gone off. Well, she's got water, so dry substrate, everything she needs. She's webbed up, so she must be happy. Yes, I'm doing the same as I did with the L. Kluge, just waiting. I mean the LP, just waiting. Yeah, she's showing the fret posture. I'm going to leave it in there though for an hour, and I'll come back to it. So yeah, that is my GBB. And we shall move on to the next one. Oh. Nope. Moving on to the next one. Next we have my Nandu Colivlosis, and as a treat for her, because I have a few left, I'm going to give her an extra large locust, so this should be fun. Locust's not very fattening, so it doesn't matter that she's got a fat bum, and I'm giving her one of these. Plus, yeah. Locust has attached itself to me. Ow! I hate the barbs on the legs. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Like it was nothing. Yeah, she's a very good feeder. I absolutely love Nandus. I'm going to pick up some more eventually. But at the moment, this is the only one I own. So yeah, that was pretty much the last of the tarantulas that are going to be getting extra large. I haven't really got anything that's big enough to take them. So the rest of them extra large locusts will be going to the pile of leftovers to my frogs tonight. They're just getting all leftovers. So that should be fun for them. So that'll be in the next video, just for people to know. Me feeding my frogs leftovers. So we'll leave my Nandu Colivlosis to eat that and move on to the next one. Freshly malted Haplopus species Columbia large. I don't know if it's hardened up yet, but I'm going to chuck one in anyway, because if it's not hardened up I'll just leave it anyway. So I think it is. Yeah, it's not hardened up yet. Okay, we'll just leave it be. yeah, I thought this was a male, but I think it's a female, just a very leggy female, because it's not mature yet, and it's 2.5 inch, and the max out at 4, so yeah. Move on to the next one. This is my Pecan Ceretes, and it should be hungry. It went for it, but then it wasn't sure. Yes! Oh, love Phormictopus. Such an amazing genus. Yep, so this is my Haitian brown bird eater. Relatively calm compared to others that I've seen, especially John's, 2 females. Ooh, some fang action. So yeah, we should leave it be. It didn't eat last week, but I just think it was stressed out because I moved into its new tank. So we'll leave it be and move on to the next one. This is my absolutely stunning Pamphobetius fortis. It's definitely hungry as it went for the tweezers when I was taking its water bottle out to check it. There's bits of water about because there were only a tiny bit left in, so I tipped it out and because it had a bit of poo in it. So it decided to poo in its water bottle on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's what I thought. That's why I like Pamphobetius and Phormictopus. They're very good eaters as juvies / slings. It's got this nice little hide. So yeah, we should leave it to eat. Back in a sec. This is my very skittish Spar Boffrey Hoffmanni, but it should be hungry. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, you can see the tiny horn on the top, but it does get bigger. Last time you couldn't see it because it had a bit of dirt on it, but yeah, you can see the horn in the centre of the carapace, and that does get to a decent size, and these darken out as adults. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. One of my absolute favourites of all time, species of tarantula. I'm really chuffed that I got it. Very easy to keep. Just keep them bone dry as adults, dryish as slings. Keep them around room temperature, bit cooler than room temperature, and they do perfectly fine. Well, room temperature is fine, but yeah, easy tarantula to keep and very nice. Moving on to the next one. Next we have my very skittish female Holophila Incy. So hopefully she'll not run off. I want her to run the other way. Just realise it's food. Grab the leg there. Absolutely gorgeous species, very small now. Only maxing out at 6 cm as an adult female. But very good eaters, just very skittish. I don't know what put her off then, I don't know if it was me or what. I'll give you an update. She'll go back to it. She did last time. Okay. Well, before she tries to run off, I'm going to end it. So yeah, we'll check back on her at the end of the video. But look at carapace and leg markings and everything. Oh, it's such a gorgeous species. Look at that. Oh, it's going back to it, so yeah, I thought I should. Something must have spooked her, but yeah, straight for the head. Absolutely gorgeous tarantula. I'd advise it to anybody, just they're very small legs. That's next to my hand. Not too big, but gorgeous nonetheless. Okay, moving on to the next one. As you can see there, I'm doing well at breeding stuff I don't need. If you can see, just above my finger there is the white dot. There's quite a few. They are substrate mites. They are good. They're a good thing. And as you can see, there's none on the sling, and the sling is alive and fine. So I'm just going to feed this now, and it is my G pulchrites. But just an update. Things that you find in your tarantula's tank, some and most of the time, are going to be things that are good. It might even be springtails, I'm not too sure. Maybe springtails are substrate mites, and these are good. So yeah. Back in a sec. So this is my G pulchrites. It actually ate the locust last time, and I thought it was in pre-molt, which is hard because its bum's black as hell. But yeah, drop it in, see what happens. Puts its head in the dirt and it sits on top of it. But yeah, as I was saying, there's substrate mites there. Can you see any problem with that tarantula? It's got nothing on it. Nothing, no problems. It is perfectly healthy. It's a bit moist. I know it's a ground stall and it's moist, but slings seem to do fine. Plus they need water. So everything needs water. Keeps burying its head. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it be. I'm going to leave it in. I'll give it an update at the end of the video. Okay, moving on to the next one. Next, this is my T Octi. It's usually a good feeder. Oh, it's jumped out. Oh, no, it's good. Yep, as I thought. No, lets me down. But yeah, as I was saying, I keep most slings with dampish substrate. Even I brought up my B wagons, and it shows it works because that's brought up on dry. People use dry substrate, unless it's a GBB. GBBs are ones that you need to keep completely dry. But everything else that I've well, the Rapalma wagons that got raised up with wet substrate. These three are. So my T Octi Gold, no, my Frix Pelma Octi is wet, my Grammostola Pulchrites is pretty wet, and my Incy Gold is wet. All for Incy Gold, and they're all doing fine. So yeah, seem to be doing well. You usually change out the substrate at juvie stage. So when they get upgraded, well, still at that I give them a bit wet, but yeah. As long as it works and keeps them alive, and they seem happy, can't really complain with the outcome. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous little sling, and we shall move on to the next one. This is my Holophila Incy Gold sling. Absolutely tiny bit of locust left, I'll take that out. But this is one of my best feeders, and this is why. Come on, you need to realise it's food. Yum. Sorry about that, ran out of space, so I had to delete some stuff. Come on. Oh, we'll come back to it. Because I haven't got much space left still, and I've got 3 left to feed. Plus I've got to show you who didn't eat and if they ate in the end. So yeah, we'll come back to that one. Moving on to the next one. This is my absolutely gorgeous B wagons, and it's usually always hungry, so usually, but most of the time it'll go and eat it later. It doesn't like to be filmed eating. But yeah, as I was saying, with slings, you can keep them quite wet compared to usual, except probably GBBs and a few others. but by that I mean not, you don't want high humidity. You can get it a bit wet, but you don't want too much humidity. I hate locust at times, it's so annoying. Shit, it's sand. Hey! Grabbed it by the arse. Yay! Sorry. So yeah, I'm going to leave it be to eat, and we shall move on to the next one. Back in a sec. This is my very skittish Pamphidius Machala. Was a good eater, so let's see. Go on. By the way, what I'm following on a conversation between clips. Basically, what I'm trying to explain is if you keep them wet and not too humid, you just don't want mold to grow. That's the main thing. Substrate mites, stuff like that, perfectly fine, but you don't want mold to grow. That's the thing. That's tarantula poo, by the way, just so people know. So yeah, you don't want mold to grow. So I change the substrate on my slings every couple of months, give them fresh. So, but yeah, if you keep it wet, but not, you want the substrate to be wet, but you don't want like humidity to gather around the edge, around the edges of the tank, like the lid and that. So you don't want like humidity with Avix and that is, you can see it usually. You see like condensation and stuff. That's something you don't. Well, that made no sense. Basically, if you see condensation and stuff on the side of the tank, well, not condensation, but wet bits and that, you don't want it to be like that. You just want it to be wet substrate, but you want everything else to be pretty. Like the lid and that should be dry. It shouldn't be humid when you open the tank. If that makes any sense. It makes sense to me, but it probably doesn't make sense to you, and it probably makes no sense in general, which is me mostly. But yeah, that's my Pamphidius Machala, and we shall move on to the next one. Finally, this is my Phormictopus platus, but it's got a very big bum anyway, so I think it'll probably not eat. But yeah, if that made any sense, it did. If it didn't, I just like to keep, basically what I'm trying to say is I like to keep my slings, I'm going to leave that in there. I like to keep my slings wet, but not humid. So you want to keep the substrate dry, you want to keep the substrate wet. This is what I do with everyone, except this doesn't apply to GBBs and some others. But if you see me doing it with slings I keep, it works. So you keep the substrate you keep it wet, but it's hard to explain. You keep it wet, but you don't. You keep it wet, but you don't keep it humid, and that's it pretty much. Then you change it every couple of months. That's what I'm trying to say. We got there eventually. So yeah, we'll leave up. As I was trying to say before someone rang me, we shall leave this tarantula be, and I'll give an update if anybody eats in a bit. So I'm going to leave everybody for an hour, except my GBB. I did take out the GBB tank because it was getting really annoyed and it was slapping and just getting generally pissed off. So yeah, see you in a second when I check the ones that didn't eat. Back in a sec. Okay, this is the update before the update. They're the 4 that still got food in but aren't eating. The Haplopus species Columbia large I took out because it's still hardening up, so it just stressed it out, and I don't want to because it's freshly malted. And the GBB, it was just getting stressed out in general and slapping. So yeah, there's 4 left, and I'm gonna check them tomorrow morning and give you an update. No, yeah, there's 4. Okay. See you tomorrow, or in a second. Back in a sec. Just checking the T's before I go to bed, and the C fasciatum is 8. G Pulse-Cripe still hasn't. Israeli Gold has. And that was the Pamfo has. Give me a second. I'm trying to put ones that have et to one side. The Pamfo has not et. But I'll give an update in the morning. So the only ones that that are the valid reason, that's just malted. The GBB, just I think it's in pre-malt. So them two, probably pre-malt. But yeah, the Israeli Gold is now 8. Oh, just get it off a bit. Yeah, the Israeli Gold's 8. And so is the Seed Fasciatum. So the last update will be in the morning. Back in a sec. Just a quick update, this is the following night. G Pulse-Cripe, I will be taking these out in a second. G Pulse-Cripe's has an 8. That didn't eat this morning. Oh, that's a good one. The Phormictopus platus is actually 8. Awesome. Just about that. I didn't think that'd eat. I thought it was in pre-malt, to be honest. Obviously not. So the only ones that didn't eat were the GBB, which is up there. Hopeless Species Columbia Large, but that's just come out of malting, so it's understandable. But the G Pulse-Cripe just didn't eat. So yeah, I'll take that out in a second. And yeah, so thanks for watching. I'm feeding video 7, I think. So yeah, see you in a bit, people.